So if like, just say you used to do it, you run up and then you just crouch and then up tilt it.
Hey, what's up guys? We're just going to do a little impromptu snake how-to today, and hopefully we don't get sued by that guy that trademarked how-to. Can't remember that guy's name. So a little bit of background. I started playing Snake back in Brawl, pretty much launch. I was the best Snake in Australia for ages, and this other dude, Atyeo, took my title, but I held second best until I retired that game, but who cares about second best, right? But basically I've been playing Snake like 10 years, played him with a bit of PM, so I got a bit of experience with him. He's a tricky-ish character, but he's really good. He's been winning a lot of stuff. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So first we'll just go through all of his moves. I hope all that banging in the background is not being picked up by the mic. That's the dog. Yeah, so we'll just go through his moves and go from there. So his jab's pretty stock standard, regular jab. Doesn't kill anymore like it did in Brawl, unfortunately, but that's pretty ridiculous. He's still got this thing, good for like catching little frame windows and stuff. At higher percents you can get like, if you do it right, like jab into up tilt and stuff. But I don't know, it's actually a pretty tricky window. If Joey tries to shield it, it can be pretty hard to hit.
Oh, it's on as well.
Yeah, so
that was it.
So it's a little tricky. You need a bit of practice, but I don't know. I feel like you won't actually be using it that often. If players know about this and they're trying to shield it, if you try and shield, there is a little mix-up you can do where you go and sticky them. Shield this.
Oh yeah.
Shield.
Oh, what?
Oh, why am I looking over there? The camera's there.
Alright.
Alright, ready? Shield it. Yeah, you can do shit like that. If they know about it, you can get sticky. Anyway, so that's jab, pretty standard. We'll come back to that in a bit for shield pressure stuff. Let's just drop this back to 0. Forward tilt, not as ridiculous as it used to be. This can kill at higher percents, but think of it kind of like a weird mix between a forward smash and a jab kind of thing. You can just kind of poke with the first hit and then confirm into the second. And on shields you can make it ambiguous. Right, am I going to finish it, or am I just going to do one hit and then be safe? So that's not bad either. Down tilt, also quite a good move. Especially because you're quite low and you stay low when you do this. So if he's like fishing for, I don't know, like short hop back airs or something, you can come in under them safely and get a down tilt, so it's quite useful. Do note that if you do a diagonal crawl and hit A, you'll actually get a forward tilt. So you either have to do a weird like half diagonal, or you can just hit down on the C stick.
I don't think they can see that on the camera. You might want to show them properly. Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
So if you're doing a full diagonal crawl,
I don't think they can.
don't use A, you'll get forward tilt. Use down on the C stick.
Oh, they get it.
Yeah. I probably didn't put
this
in the camera at any point.
It's fine.
And then up tilt, of course, the fucking greatest kill move of all time. It's had its range nerf from Brawl, but it still is, if you stay still, it's still pretty decent. Being able to do this out of a run is really nice now. You just try and hit down the C stick. This is good, so again, if he's like fishing back airs or something, or like trying to come in on me, I can just run in and anti-air. This is a really good anti-air. So if they're jumping, a lot of players in Smash 4, when it's like kill percent, they're going to be jumping around looking for stuff. You can just run in and anti-air their aerial. So it's really good for that. Also, don't be shy to use this at not at kill percents as just an anti-air. So you've really got quite a few anti-air options of people jumping in on you, which is nice. So that's his tilts. His dash attack's pretty good.
There's that late hit that sends him behind.
If you shield. Yeah, I can go in front or come forward a bit. I can go behind. So there's a bit of an ambiguous mix-up on shield. This isn't super great though, because usually you use it to like catch landings and stuff, but now you can just do running up tilt or forward tilt, so it's not bad, but you probably won't be using it as much because you can just do like running anything.
Oh, there's that thing where you can do like the weak hit where it sets him onto a tech chase on the platform because it sends him up and behind him, remember? Yeah. Like that.
Oh, that's cool. The more you know.
So if it's sticky there,
clued in.
if you have a C4 there, you can tech chase that shit.
Put it here. Oops.
Yeah. That's
cool. There you go. I didn't fucking know about that. That's kind of cool. So that's dash attack. His aerials are surprisingly good actually. Down air you do like this weird 4-kick thing. The last hit floats, so it can be a little tricky sometimes to land that. You can also use it for like getting a little bit of extra air time and stuff.
Oh, one thing I found real quick, I just wanted to show. You can actually use it from the ledge to get onto the platform, because usually when Snake tries to let go and jump to the platform, he can't. But if he let goes, oh my god, this is so hard with your control. Okay.
Do it.
Oh shit. Okay, you know.
We'll get to that.
All right, yeah. You can get to the platform, so that's pretty cool.
So there is a tech from Brawl that I don't think was in Smash 4. It's in this, where if you double jump and then do certain rising aerials, you get a boost. So you see how I just fly up if I hit that move as I double jump. So you can use it for recoveries and stuff. Get lots of extra air, or basically what you just showed there is the same thing. Other than that, you know, this isn't too bad of a like out of shield option.
It's like frame 6.
It's pretty quick. It's not as strong, but it can kill, I think. But decent move hitting below you, multi-hit. When you're recovering with it, you can try and get lucky with a hit, but its range isn't that great, so most people with up airs should be able to beat it. Neutral air, 4 kicks, not quite as good as it used to be in Brawl again. You can't, can you get off? No, I don't think you can get off 4 off a short hop, but you can off a full hop. Can you still do it? Yeah. There used to be a way to auto cancel this in Brawl. You can fast forward it from a double jump. One sneaky thing you can do with this is like catch people down here with it. You can also pull down with it, so if you just start jumping, you can do stuff like that. As long as you don't land the last hit, kind of works like Fox's fair pull down nonsense. If you pull down wrong though, you actually don't necessarily get a guaranteed anything. Are you right there, mate? So drag down, we'll come back to that. Up air, it's actually kind of like a solid up air move. You can kill with it. You can short hop auto cancel it. Yeah, pretty good for catching people above you. Not much more to say about that. Back air, the Superman. Just stand still. Yeah, so he still has a hitbox. Pretty much. I can't point to it. Pretty much from like, if you see like on his chest where his little things are, pretty much underneath his armpit line, it's all hitbox. So you see how I can like hit people. Oops. In front. So it's almost like a sex kick kind of thing. Unfortunately you can't short hop, cancel that. You can full hop, auto cancel it, but it won't hit grounded opponents. This gives you a little bit extra height. Snake can't actually full hop onto a platform, but he can if you do that. But this is actually like a pretty good move in neutral. Catch people like in the air and stuff. So it's like a not a bad get off me tool. And obviously you can kill with it too. So that's, I reckon that's probably his best aerial. It's quite good. And then forward air is this big kick. This can spike if you, I'm not going to be able to fucking land this. I don't know. Anyway, you get the idea, right? You can spike with it, but kind of risky. You don't really want to be going off stage much. So, you can come down with it, but I don't really recommend using this move too much. So be careful with it. What's next? Smash attacks. Now you've just got a pretty stock standard generic down smash.
Pretty fast.
I think this can hit at the ledge. Yeah. Grab the ledge again. Yep. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure up tilt got nerfed so it doesn't hit on ledge. Yeah. So you're kind of stuck with this now. So that's like your ledge 2 framing special. There are other ways to 2 frame we'll get to, but generic down smash, not too much to say about that. Forward smash, again, this is really slow. You won't be using it much unless you find specific setups or get like a roll read or something. If you grab the ledge. Super powerful. It's easily one of the strongest forward smashes in the game. Probably not the strongest, but like you're just going to be obliterated. So it's really strong. You up smash the mortar. So a few changes from Brawl. You'll see now that this goes in a set trajectory every time. There's no more random trajectories. It's actually got 2 hits. When he pulls the mortar out, that's a hit that can chain into the second hit. Like so. Try and DI that.
That was DI. I'll do the taunt DI.
Yeah. So if they're really good at DI, they can get out. So it's pretty consistent, but it won't always hit. I've had it not hit quite a few times with me already. This move is incredible. It's good for catching people coming down above you. Because the hitbox comes out back down, you can set up traps where you can have multiple things happening at once. It's really good for ledge guarding. It's really good for edge guarding because you can get the thing to... oops. You can get it to do this kind of nonsense. Oops, no, that's not far enough forward. So that's a really good move, highly rated. It's much stronger as a kill move than it used to be. It's stale to hell right now, but... Oh, actually, I don't think move stailing's on in...
It is a setting for it, but it's not on right now. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's pretty strong, so that's... Yeah. So, not that great, not that great. Great. So you'll be using this move quite a lot. Anytime you get a chance, you want to set up stuff. Good move to throw out. So we're grabs. His forward throw and back throw, just pretty stock standard generic throws. Back throw can kill, but it's still quite weak.
Oh, did you see that thing that was put on Twitter yesterday? It was you can back throw at 0 to tech chase sticky, like jab to sticky. Like you can jab confirm to sticky it.
Oh,
yeah, well.
Timing's gonna be strict for that.
Yeah.
Hey, that's cool, man. You just know all these secret little.
I know like everything.
Well, there you go. Because I was about to say, in PM you used to be able to do this stuff. Oops.
Still sort of worked, but I didn't do anything.
Used to be able to do that, so it looks like that's maybe still a thing. Although, if you do anything, it's probably not necessarily. Oh, oops. Guaranteed.
No.
Where did that even go?
It's on the ground.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's a thing, but also that's a thing. Oops. I wonder. Oh, hang on. I wonder if you can do back throw to like hit to tech chase.
Oh, probably.
Oh,
you're probably gonna do it immediately after you. Like just do immediate dash attack back. Jeez.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, I guess not.
Maybe it's slightly higher percent. I don't know. Anyway, something to muck around with, I guess. Anyway, we all know what you're here for. It's the down throw, right? So, tech chase in a can. So they have 4 options, right? They can roll away. Unfortunately, you can't re-grab on a roll if you roll away anymore, like you used to be able to. But Oops. You can dash.
Oh, sorry, might be.
You can dash attack. You can. Oops. Running forward tilt. At kill percents, if you get the read, you get the running up tilt. That's really good. And then if you want to be super sneaky, you can do this. Oops, I'm going to muck this up so much. For a regrab. We'll come back to that in a second. So, oops, going behind obviously is, you can do turnaround up tilt.
What? I was, okay.
You can do turnaround forward tilt. Hell, you can do turnaround sticky if you want. But yeah, so, you know, most of the time you're trying to get those two options. Some people try and do get up attack. You've got a few different options here. You can try and parry the get up attack. That'll give you, I think you can get pretty much anything if you parry it, other than a grab, whoops. But otherwise, so do a get up attack, then try and evade.
Okay.
I think it depends on the get up attack, but some characters I think you don't get a guaranteed jab. Looks like you do on Wolf. But otherwise, you always get this guaranteed. Whoops. Up smash out of shield. Oops, okay. So that can kill at kill percents. It's also just a good way to discourage them from doing the regular get up attack. Also, if you suspect they're going to do a get up attack, you can do this. For a regrab, or for an up tilt. So that's an option too. And then if they do a regular get up.
Oh, sorry.
Same option. Oops. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, try jumping out of this. I'm pretty sure this isn't actually guaranteed. Yeah, so they can jump. So you don't get a guaranteed regrab, but you do get an up tilt. But if they don't know to jump, then you get a regrab. Another little interesting thing, if you can grab them right at the edge, so go all the way to the edge, right? And down throw, they immediately put into the air like that. In Brawl, this used to be a guaranteed up tilt. In this game, I believe it's not guaranteed. Wow, it's just missing completely. A lot of characters that will still hit, but they can. I frame by framed it, and you can air dodge. It looks like. Am I just doing it wrong?
It might just not work on Wolf.
Nope. And then, yeah, there's a fifth option they can do in tech chasing, is they can lie there and do nothing. If you ever suspect this, you can get up tilt. At kill percents, when they're nervous, you can do that. Or, if they stay there, you can just stick it in, and then you get up tilt. We'll come back to this with grenades, but grenades changes that whole game up again.
You should try the 160% down throw, like kill confirm.
That's it.
Did you see Gamer's video?
Oh, yeah, so it does more hits done at high percent, right?
Yeah, 160 is guaranteed. So if you go 159, okay. I can get up. I can do neutral get up. But if you go 160...
Let me just do that without being retarded.
Yeah, no, yeah. See, like, that doesn't work. And then 160... Guaranteed. I can't.
Alright, so you get a guaranteed kill throw at 160. Hooray. Alright, so specials. This is pretty much where the meat of the character is. So grenades will do its own thing because that's special. Nikita missile. Shoot the missile, fly it around. You've got about 5 seconds or so before the fuel runs out and it drops automatically. If you watch Snake's missile launcher, you'll see the light slowly turn red as it runs out of fuel. That's your little indicator. If you hit, if you hit R early, you lose control of it and it loses propulsion and will just kind of drop out of the air. If you got enough time, you can set up like nonsense frame traps where you have one falling and another one coming in. This is way better than it was in Brawl. It's really good, like edge guarding tool.
Sorry, I'll go a bit lower.
No, I could fucking fall out.
Wow, sorry, I have tap jump on this. Oh my god, I hate tap jump.
You do all that kind of stuff, and then you can just keep being a nuisance. So it's quite good as an edge guarding tool off stage once you get them out there. It's also not bad in neutral at range because it can be kind of hard to get through, especially when you've got grenades set up and shit as well. FD2 makes it a little bit harder. So if you've got a bit of room, obviously if they're too close, be careful. But if you've got a bit of room, you can throw it out in neutral. You can do like weird stuff to like get them to shield like that, and then you run in a grab. And then you can down throw to give them for them to take guaranteed. Move back slightly. Oh, that's platform's not in the way. You can do stuff like this and then down throw for the mortar to hit. Same with the missile to time it so they take their hit from that. But otherwise, pretty solid move. Just be careful using it when they're close. Down B, the C4. This is also amazing. He puts it down, you push again to blow it up. Quite simple. If they're near, you can sticky it to them. Once the C4 is stickied on someone, just stay still.
Oh, my bad, isn't it?
So once it's on someone, turn around, it's on your back. After, I think it's 10 seconds, it'll fall off if you just wait. Yes, okay, and then it acts as if it's just put normally on the ground. I'm not sure if that resets its ground fuse. I can't remember the...
Oh, no, apparently doesn't.
I guess not. I can't remember the fuse. Seems to be about 30 seconds. I think it was different in Brawl. So yeah, if it's on the ground for a while, it'll blow up on its own after it times out, whatever that is, probably 30 seconds. Sticking it, you've got 10 seconds. After a few seconds, it can transfer on contact, like so. So if for whatever reason it's on you, you generally want to like do this kind of stuff. Obviously at higher percents that would kill. It goes through shield if you shield. So if you know they're going to shield, like for instance if you're on a platform and they think you're going to aerial, you can jump and miss. Okay, sticky it to them. The beauty of this move, a lot of people just don't even notice it, right? So many times you stick people and then you're like, oh okay, you blow them up and they're like, what the hell just happened? The little red light stops flashing after a few seconds. But you know, if we do stuff like I put it here and then pull the camera down or away, you know, you're not going to see that. When you're respawning, I can like put a C4 here and then jump up and we're up here and it pulls the camera up and you don't see it. And then unless you're really looking for it, you know, while you're playing around, that can be hard to see. Darker stages like FD and stuff, it can be a nightmare to see. So you can just put it down and people sometimes won't even notice, especially in a tournament setting. There's a lot going on, there's a lot of noise, it can be hard to see them just drop it down. You know, like that kind of shit. Whoops. So, and a little bit of sleight of hand, you know, if there's grenades and they're exploding, sometimes they don't see you put it down. So you can be pretty sneaky with this. You can do it from a crawl for whatever reason. It's got a big circular hitbox around it, so if you are coming in underneath, that will still hit. Stand just about there. The range is surprisingly good. Come forward slightly. So it's just like a big circle around it, really. It won't hit smaller characters. For instance, if I'm crouching underneath it, it's not going to hit me. Probably hit you there. Yeah. So play characters like Pichu and stuff. It can be an issue sometimes.
I can't reflect the explosion either. I think we found that. I think we found that on the first day. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. So this is a really good move. Also, there's C4 recover. We'll just talk about that real quick.
Oh, wrong percent. That's your my one.
20 minutes. This probably be about a 40-minute thing. So yeah, you can just use this. You know, whoops, I recovered too low. Stuff up. You have to be a little bit more careful because it will send you further than it did in Brawl. often you'll have to tech. There is a percentage where it's impossible to tech anymore. I'm not sure. I don't think that was it. I think it's...
That was definitely the percent.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So at super high percents, you be careful. Apparently, you can't try and tech if you want to. Why is it always sending me out like that?
I don't know.
I'm not holding anything.
Probably because of the way facing. I have no clue.
Wow.
I don't know.
That's weird. But it can mean sometimes you can recover and...
Try facing the other way and doing like backwards.
Sometimes you can recover and you'll like slide the other way on the stage. Why isn't he doing it?
Never does it when it wants to.
Yeah. Anyway, see how I'm like sliding up here towards the lip? Sometimes you'll do it and he'll slide downwards into the center of the stage. It's like, oh, I've killed myself. You can still see full recover. You used to have to be careful of fast falling in Brawl off the Cypher, because if you fast fell, you'd go too far. But now, for whatever reason, it will cancel your fast fall. So you don't even have to worry about that anymore. All those years of like fun, like learning how to tilt down without fast falling, doesn't matter anymore. As soon as you do a C fall, it cancels your fast fall. So pretty good to recover with. We'll talk a bit more about his recovery, but that's useful to know. You can drop it down and attack like that with it. You can do this kind of stuff. Oops. Slightly up more. As for like an edge guard attack. You can 2-frame with it. Obviously because it hits in a big circle if it's here and they try and recover. You know, you can 2-frame. It is possible to stick it on the wall on some stages. Like that, you can see it's on the lip there. But since it hits in a circle, you know, do you really want to spend all the time and precision doing that? You can just stick it here. And,
oh, I want
the hell. Also just backtracking slightly. When you're edge guarding with this, the explosion of this can 2-frame as well. So sometimes you can just fly it down to the stage like that and you get a 2-frame. Wolf's quite susceptible to that. And then obviously the Cypher is just standard upbeat. You don't go into free fall after it, so you can do any action.
besides upbeat.
Besides another upbeat, unless you C4 yourself. You can get off it early with air dodge or with an aerial. It has some sort of armor at the start. I'm not sure if it's super or heavy armor. I'm pretty sure it's heavy armor. Yeah. So you can still be hit off the start by certain moves, but not everything. If you're already moving up,
it's a 9% threshold.
If you're already moving up, you fly up really fast. But otherwise, if you're going down, it takes a second to reverse momentum like that. There's a slight dip. Huge buff to this now is you can snap to the ledge with it. You didn't used to be able to do that in Brawl, so that's quite nice. And the Cypher, whoops. Oh.
Oh, you were gonna, might be.
Yeah, I don't think I could have though, because the air dodge lag was huge. Come forward a bit. When you snap to the ledge with this, the Cypher is a hitbox once you let go of it. So yeah, when you let go of the Cypher, it's a hitbox. Before you let go of it, it's not a hitbox. So not until I let go will it do anything. And then finally, if you get hit off it, you get another one. But if they hit the Cypher itself, they can destroy it, and then you can't do another one. So let's give you a nice easy.
Oh shit! Sorry, I'm not used to. I'm not used to this control scheme. Sorry.
That's alright.
Alright, let's just try that again. Okay.
I'm just gonna go low and then come up. You got gourds.
What the fuck? Alright, no, we'll cut it to... It's so hard to do without L to jump, sorry. Oh.
You can hit Snake too and spike him, but if you hit the Cypher, it disappears and you fall instantly.
Just do it here. We can do it.
It's about 30 minutes.
There it is.
Alright, there you go. So after you've done that, You don't go into free fall, but you just drop off the RB. Can be pretty hard to C4 recovery because you got to be ready for it. But you can't. So but anyway, you got to be careful of people hitting your cipher and not you. That can screw you up. What else? His wave dash is not bad. Not really a character you'd use it much though on it. And then we've got grenades. Lots to talk about here. This is probably the best projectile in the game. They come out on frame 1 and they have, I think it's 2.5 second fuse.
I think it's 3 seconds. I'm pretty sure it's 3 seconds.
1, 1000, 2, 1000, 3. Yeah. 3 seconds. Yeah.
I think it actually says on the grenade delay 3.0 on it.
What do I do? Yeah. Doesn't say. Well, on the
on the actual grenade, it says delay 3.0. I don't know how we can get that without being into a game. Yeah. I don't know. Like, so you guys can look at it yourself. Like,
imagine having a grenade the size of your head. No wonder they're so powerful.
But yeah, that's something you guys can look at later.
From the least egg. So grenades blow up. They also blow up if they're hit by any hitbox of any kind.
Oh.
Okay, maybe not.
I think. Oh.
It could be like Link's bombs where the hitbox has to do more than like 1% or something like that, but more or less it'll blow up every time. So, so first of all, so when you pull it, you go into what I guess we'll call grenade stance. From here, when you let go of B, move to the other side of the stage. When you let go of B, he throws it. So you can cook the grenade for a second or two and then throw it. You can move back and forth while doing it. It looks super weird. Or you can hold, so your actions are let go of B to throw the grenade, you can move left and right, and you can shield to drop it instantly. When you let go, if you hold forward, he'll peg it like that. If you hold back, he'll lob it up. You can also jump in this stance. I should mention that too. Dropping shield's pretty good because then you can pick it up and throw it. Instead of having those throws, you can throw it like a regular item, so you can throw it in any direction.
Yeah, if you throw it up, it doesn't come back down. It goes all the way to the blast zone.
Yeah. So, if people are recovering high for whatever reason, and you time it right, you can go out and get kills like that. It's quite hard though. This is really most useful in the snake mirror match, because they recover high. We'll talk about that in a minute. Whoops. Anyway, yeah, so grenades, they're pretty good for throwing out like that. The other thing you can do out of this grenade stance, you can grab. Right? Now this is good because if you hold forward, you slide forward off a grenade to grab. Snake's already got a pretty good grab range. But this is quite useful. So this is one way that you get a lot of grabs. Like, look at the range on that, that was ridiculous. So this is useful because if you get a grab here, now there's a grenade. So if you hold them, you can blow it up like that. This also adds a bit of mix up to the thing. A lot of players will subconsciously want to roll away from the grenade like that. So a lot of people will just instinctively move away without thinking about it. Some players will know this and they'll roll back on the grenade on purpose. But if you time it right, oops, so you get this, you just roll back. You can cover it with the right timing. So mixing a grenade up into here can do a lot of stuff. Some players, because the grenade's there, they'll get nervous and they'll do nothing. You can kill it. So having a grenade there adds another element to the down throw chase that you can kind of control a little bit. Also, for whatever reason, if a grenade is a bit further back, you can throw them into it with backwards and forwards throw. Maybe not with the C4 though. No. You used to do it to the mine. You'd throw them into the mine, really? But that doesn't exist as a move anymore. Yeah, so grabbing off grenades pretty good. And we'll come back to that when we talk about your game plan. That's a really important part of it. Other things you can do with a grenade. There's two techniques to instantly pick it up. So the one I know is you pull a grenade, then you shield, then you jump, then you hit your grab button, which for me is Z. If you do it right, that happens. So now you instantly have a grenade in your hand. You can do some cool stuff like you can dribble it. So you can set up little sequences like if I dribble it twice, whoops, then throw it, it's always going to blow up in that exact area kind of thing. Another cool one is you do this, you jump, then you Z drop it. Oops. Oh dear. Fade back, and you can do a dash attack, and then you have time to shield. If you do this just right, I think there's another way to do it. You can actually spot dodge the explosion. Yeah, so have a look at that. Ready?
What? Well, I haven't even seen that one. Okay.
Yeah, so you can come up with all these little sequences that give you exact grenade timings and stuff, doing this kind of stuff. The other one is it jump and grab instantly? Yeah.
Yeah, you buffer, you buffer jump and grab at the same time.
Yeah, so that's what I just did there. Jump and grab at the same time without hitting shield. I think this one's maybe a little bit harder, or I just haven't practiced it.
You have to hold the jump and you have to hold it.
Yeah, okay, yep. So that's the other way of doing it, insta grab. So this can be quite handy. You can do all sorts of like nonsense where you like grenade dribble to be fancy, so you can be like, oops. All that kind of stuff. Bouncing it, throwing it. When you get really good, you just kind of like move around the grenade. People are like, what the hell's going on? And a lot of people will be afraid to come into that because one of the best things about grenade is grenade countering. So if you just try and start hitting me.
Oh wait, sorry.
How about that?
Oh, it's because it went on the ground. Okay, I'll do it when you're...
Still like a back air or something. Oh dear. Forward tilt. There we go.
Okay.
So basically, if you have a grenade and someone hits you and then they hit the grenade, you get what I guess is known as a grenade counter. So this is not bad. Let me drop my percent a bit. This is a really useful technique. If you're being juggled and you want to start trading damage with like a lighter character, start doing like up tilts and stuff.
Oops. Sorry, it's so hard to do without...
Start like comboing me.
Oh, fucking tilting. God, sorry. It's just default controls is very difficult.
Yeah, that kind of stuff, right? You can, when people are comboing you, you can loop that over and over again. You're both taking damage. You're taking more damage, I believe, because you're taking the aerial and the grenade damage. But Snake's quite heavy, so like, with a lighter character, trading up damage, even if you're taking more, it's usually pretty good. And if you're going to get comboed anyway, you might as well. So that's a really good part of grenade countering. Also, you don't necessarily have to be there, so if you try and like up air me.
Oh shit.
It up. Next level. Anyway, yeah, so you can throw a grenade, and if they attack where you were and they hit the grenade, they blow up and you get away for free.
I'll just try up smash.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Then there's... So that's grenade countering, I guess. You can also hold a grenade in shield. Shield. And obviously it explodes, hits them, not you. Whoops. For some characters, if you forward air that maybe. Yeah. So he's still triggering the grenade counter, but now I'm shielding, right? Oh, that's his timing out.
Oh my god, I hate tap jump. Okay.
Yeah, I wish you could like...
Yeah, like that.
That kind of stuff. Anyway, that's useful too. So you pull a grenade. So if someone's coming down on you with an aerial, you can like pull a grenade. Maybe it doesn't work if you're holding.
I don't think you just probably have to be next to you or something.
But you'll usually just drop grenades like that. So if he's coming in, right? So if I'm standing here and he wants to aerial me, go. You can do that, or if you're even quicker.
Oh, sorry. Okay, let's do it again.
Oops. Right, I get away scot-free. It's important that you hit shield late because their attack has to hit the grenade, so you see that it drops. So if you can do it just before they hit you, the grenade's still going to be in the air, so it's easier for them to hit. This essentially means that, unlike other characters, Snake can have a shield that when you hit his shield, you blow up and take damage, which is pretty ridiculous. So that's a really useful technique with Snake. So grenades, you can do anything with them. Sky's the limit. You can do all sorts of nonsense. Throw them down. Set up these walls with them. Anyway, we'll come back to that when we talk about the game plan. Oh, yep, so I think it's shield pressure. So let's say for whatever reason there's a grenade here and I'm hearing you're shielding. You can like do your jab or your forward tilt and you can delay it, hold them in shield for the grenade. Sometimes you can just do this kind of stuff. You can get shield breaks, you can get shield pokes. They can get nervous and try and get away from the grenade. If you know they're going to stay in shield, you can like sticky, oops, pick up the grenade. So I can be like, oops. Wow. That's kind of new. Alright, let me just stop doing this. That kind of stuff. So they're really good for shield pressure if you have them on the ground. And that's where like jab 1-2, forward tilt, that kind of stuff can come in handy again. Or like, you know, back airs. Grenade can like cover, can cover like the landing lag of a back air. Also, if you move over it, you can pick it up, obviously, so you can do stuff like that. You can pick it up with forward tilt. So you can be really creative with grenades. So you want to use them a lot. Next, let's talk about recovery. I will have to edit. I'll color in some areas of this picture to make it more obvious, but essentially the areas that are colored, I don't know, blue, you want to avoid being in there. So one of the ways to fight Snake is, when he's at low percent, he's quite vulnerable to being gimped and spiked. You know, just coming up like this, he double jumped up with me there. If he'd done a down air, I would have died. Anyway, you get the idea, right? So you really want to avoid those areas. As a new player early on in the game, you might be able to do stuff like that, and you can do it a bit more now that you can snap to the ledge. You can get away with this a bit more, or you can air dodge off the cipher to it. But generally, you want to avoid that. In Brawl, what you would do is you'd come out and around with grenades, and you'd come in over the top. 9 times out of 10 with Snake, you want to be recovering high, coming in like this. So if you like forward smash me or something.
I died of that.
Let's do like a fully charged one. Yeah, you want to be coming in sort of high like this, right? And then you start B reversing. So let's talk about that. So if you don't know what a B reverse is, looks like this. So essentially, so let's just talk about this real quick. So I'm facing left, right? If I tap right and then let go and push B, I'll do a turnaround B. So essentially you just turn around on the spot and throw it. So if I'm running left here, I'll let go to neutral, I'll tap right, and then I'll let it go back to neutral, and then I'll hit B, and what will happen is I'll do a turnaround grenade without changing any momentum. So that's tapping behind you, then letting the stick go back to neutral, obviously for the neutral B, and then hitting B. So this is me running, tap left, B. Right? If you do it the other way around, so this time I'm going to run left, I'm going to let go to neutral, I'm going to hit B, and then I'm going to tap behind, you get that. So it's the same thing, just the reverse order, right? So just to be clear, I'm running left, I'm jumping, I'm letting the stick go to neutral so that I can get the B, and then I hit B, and then I tap behind me, and that happens. Change your momentum. And the timing, if you can hear this, it's a 1-2. So I hit B and then I hit behind in a 1-2, about that fast. That's the timing for it. Most players already know what that is, so I won't talk about it too long. You can also do a reverse one, which looks like this. I find that's handy because it's a little bit less common, so a lot of players sometimes aren't really expecting that. So this time I'm jumping leftwards, leftwards. Let go to neutral, hit B, and then you hit left again. So it's the same direction both times this time. Easiest way to remember it is when you're B reversing, you're always, after you hit B, you tap the direction behind you. So I'm jumping right, I'm going to tap left because that's the direction of Snake's back. This time I'm jumping right, and I'm going to hit right again because that's the direction of Snake's back. So what these are most useful for, if you just forward tilt me out here, when you're coming in high, you can use it to zigzag back and forth. Whoops. To make it a little bit harder for people to get you. This is, B reversing is like a cute trick for most people. It's essential tech for Snake, because without it you'll come in and that you'll just get punished every time. You need it to make your recovery more ambiguous. Oops. I'm getting off this side. So you can zig one way, zig the other. You can also do it with down B. Oops. Really screwing up here. So you can like zigzag with down B, zigzag with B. When you're coming in high, you can drop it down B. Little trick I like to use, you drop it down B. Can we get the camera now? You drop it down B and then you fade back behind it, and if they come up to up air you can get like that kind of stuff happening, and then you kill yourself. So yeah, so you want to recover in high like that, and then you want to use these mixtures of B reversing and zigzagging and stuff. A nice little trick on a platform thing, like on a level like Battlefield with platforms, I might land here and he'll be there, and then I might do something like this, just because it's unexpected. You just kind of zigzag below. If you have a grenade and they manage to catch you with an aerial, you know, it's not the end of the world, because generally that kind of stuff happens. And usually if you get like a grenade explosion, just let it blow up on you and you shield it, you can combo up airs and stuff. That can be a good way to kill at high percents if they get hit by a grenade and then you up air them. So anyway, that's your recovery. You can also do it, obviously you can air dodge off the Cypher. I recommend using the regular air dodge rather than the directional one, because then as soon as you do that, they can just move to where you're going to end up and hit you. You can also come in off the Cypher with aerials. So if he's trying to meet me here with a back air, sometimes you can sneak in a neutral air. Use this sparingly, because if they know you're going to do it, it's pretty easy to just move around and then hit you back out and keep doing it. So with Snake, it's really important you go out, around, and come high, or you're just going to get juggled, gimped, killed. You know, like if I'm standing on the platform, if I'm coming in here, he can just back air me or forward air me every time if I just keep doing this. You know? And now he gets a free kill, unless he screws it up like that. So in a scenario right there, you saw he hit me out here, and I really had no choice but to come in like that. This is a time where you want to cancel early and C4 recover, and then that still happens. So there I should have done it twice to get extra height. This is one reason why Battlefield can be a little tricky as Snake, because they can get a bit extra height to come in higher to get you. Whoops, completely screwed it up. So I would have done a double there and come in high. You might bulk at first about doing like 2 or 3 C4s, because it's like all this damage I'm taking. It's better than dying, and Snake's pretty heavy, and if played right, it can be quite hard to kill Snake. You can be living to high percent. So don't worry too much about hurting yourself, especially because they're high percents when they're looking at kill moves, right? They're just coming in to like forward smash you and shit. It's just grenades blowing up constantly. So it can actually be really hard to finish off Snake when he's at high percent. So don't worry too much about doing that. So I think I've pretty much covered all the basics. So let's talk game plan. You can do a lot with platforms, but in general I think stages like FD are probably your best stage. Matchup dependent, obviously, but like platforms, as I said, it can make it easier for people. You know, with a platform, they can get up to this area, which is where you don't want to be when you're recovering. Whereas with FD, it can be quite hard for them to get all the way up there to hit you. Same with like coming in on the sides. You saw he was like doing back airs and stuff. You can't get anywhere near as high with back airs from the ground as you can with a platform. Also, platforms can screw up your ground game usage of this, although you can cover platforms with it. You've got tech chase stuff, so there's a lot you can do on platforms, but I prefer FD. I think it works a little better, but obviously it's matchup dependent. Your general game plan, Snake is a fantastic camper, maybe the best in the game. It might not feel like it because his camping, you know, if I'm versing another camping character, at first glance it can often feel like I'm being out-camped. Because to reach your like maximum camping skill ceiling, I guess, is actually pretty tricky. But I think if you're patient and you're smart and you do it just right, you should be able to out-camp anyone, even if it's harder for you to do it. So a character like Wolf, you know, he's got reflector, he's got lasers. You know, if I start just trying to pull grenades, he's just going to be like lasering me, and then they're going to be blowing up on me, right? But if I'm a little more smart about it, you know, like I can get a grenade in over the laser. He's got to worry about it. Now I'm just kind of got the camping momentum. Also, a lot of characters with projectiles, you can just go straight under them. That's handy to know as well. I'm pretty sure you can crawl under Captain Falcon's running grab.
Can you actually? That's cool.
I think so. So when you're in Camp Wars, don't forget about the crawling. So you kind of, when I say camp, I don't mean the traditional runaway spam stuff. It's more your general game plan. You kind of want to put a wall, and they have to come through the wall, because unlike pretty much any other character, your projectiles can kill. Right? Who else has really got that? So they kind of have to come to you at some point. So you kind of want to just be putting up these walls between you and them, making it hard for them to get in on you. And then when they get in, obviously, you want to kind of have something set up for them. Maybe I'll do stuff like this, you know. All of a sudden, it's like, what's happening? Oh. Just the classic kill yourself when you... Anyway. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. Sometimes you can just jump around with like these B reverse grenades and people have no idea what the hell's going on. You can do all that kind of stuff. And then when they start getting through the wall to get to you, remember you've got some really fantastic zoning tools. So if they're trying to come in over the wall through the air, right, up to it. Perfect anti-air, right? So you've got a really good way of covering people approaching you from the air. You can also crouch under their aerials and hit them. If they're approaching more on the ground, it's pretty hard to deal with this, right? Because the grab's got good long range. And my other mix-up is the shield, right? So if he runs at me and he tries to grab, I out-grab him, right? If he runs at me and he tries to attack me, you do like a dash attack. Oh, I didn't set up the grenade. But maybe if I've cooked the grenade, if he does it, or maybe, you know, if I have it for half a second, then he dash attacks, it might cook, or he might pick it up, you know. And then when it explodes, you saw as soon as he, even as it was blowing up, I was running away from him. As soon as they get exploded, you either combo it, or you run away and make space, you know, because once they're a stage away, you can start setting up all your bullshit again. So oftentimes they'll get through all of your spam just to try and hit you, hit a grenade, blow up, you run to the other side, they have to get through the wall all over again. You know, so muck around with grenades, experiment with like the different cooking timings, jump around, throw out little missile nonsense, do some aerial bullshit. Back air is really good in neutral as well. You know, if he's chasing me, you do like this kind of nonsense. Whoops. Alright, damn it. all this kind of stuff. Oh. Yeah, anyway. Oh!
Whoa.
Here we go.
Untakeable. Oh, no, it is takeable. Oh, wow, you're right.
And dead anyway. Yeah. So there I would have had to just try and really C4 all the way out and above. But yeah, so that's your general game plan, is be quite... it's a weird type of campy, because yeah, you want to be creating space, but you can also really like mid-range, mix up, move around, throw out your aerials. You do have good moves, do all this grenade countering nonsense. So you're a defensive character, but you don't have to camp. You can play like up close defensive, if that makes any sense. But grenades should be probably around 90% of your game. Like, you just constantly are using them. If you watch any top player, they've always got grenades doing weird stuff. Set up this kind of nonsense. If he wants to run in, you know, there's a mortar here that's covering his coming in. You know, so maybe I've thrown a grenade at him and then I've mortared and he runs in to shield the mortar. You know, I get a grab. All sorts of this nonsense. Once you're off stage, you can do this crap. You can do this crap. You can box kill. That's like a nonsense little Easter egg. So that does have a hitbox. Go out. Yeah. That's really just styling on people. Anyone experienced that shouldn't kill. There might be characters where that's a guaranteed kill, like Little Mac or something, maybe Chrome, but for the most part, that's just kind of like a little thing. And actually, you don't actually have, it takes ages to get the hitbox out.
Also, if people can grab it.
Oh.
And it throws it immediately.
Are you forced into a throw?
Yeah.
Yeah, so use that when they're at the ledge. They're different speeds, aren't they? Yeah, I think up's the fastest one.
So are all your taunts the box?
Yep.
Oh, didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a little boring. Oops.
Oh, you come with that.
Yeah, and the Cypher hit can combo into stuff. So if you stand there, right, at a ledge, traditionally, if they're doing like this traditional ledge guarding stuff, oops. If you snap to the ledge with a Cypher, wow. There's something about as soon as you're like trying to do a tutorial, you can't do anything. That will hit them. So maybe he's on the platform. You can probably do like nonsense. Whoop. Wow, get it together.
Never do it when you want to.
You want to grab straight away. Grabs near the later part of it. It would be nice if it snapped straight away, then you wouldn't have to worry about going low so much. Oops, I didn't get a run. But yeah, nonsense like that can occasionally work. And then yeah, so the other thing, move off that. Oftentimes when you're doing this stuff, you know, if you're all at the left there, you can preemptively, if I know he's going to run, right, so let's say go over there, let's say like throw a grenade, you can sort of blow it up as they're going to move over it, if you can get like a movement read, so that can be handy to have as well. You want to be careful because having that out can be really good while you're, it just gives you like another thing while you're dancing around, they're trying to get through, they've got to worry about that too. But at the other hand, if you've got it on stage and you get hit off, you don't have it as a recovery tool. So you have to be careful about when and where you want to use that. Another change, I believe it wasn't like this in Brawl. If you die, your C4 stays where it is. Yeah. Yeah, I can edit that down a bit. Yeah, hopefully that was helpful. A bit more informal than other videos, maybe. If you have any questions, put them in the comments and I'll answer it. But yeah, my general take on Snake. High tier, top tier. He's pretty good. Strengths are good. He's quite Creative character, you can sort of play him in a lot of ways. So, you know, unlike some other characters, if you play this snake for heaps and you learn the matchup, it might not prepare you for that snake at all because, you know, it's quite a creative, open-ended character. So his strengths are good, but his weaknesses, once they get in on top of you, they can combo the shit out of you. Recovering can be hard. You can get gimped a lot. Basically, Snake's disadvantage is terrible, right? So if you can get him disadvantage and stay in there, you can do a lot to him. So that's kind of what balances the character. At the moment, people are just like, what is going on? They don't know how to fight him that well. That will change, obviously. So as the game develops, playing Snake will get a bit harder because people will learn the matchup and punish you for stuff that you should be getting punished for. So he'll probably drop a little bit, but he'll still be a solid character, especially in doubles. Maybe the best doubles character in the game, because you know, if you're, let's say my teammate's over there, it only takes half a second to run up and do that. Now my teammate essentially has a kill throw because they grab, throw. Let's say I'm Wolf for whatever reason. I grab, I throw, and then someone sets off the C4. Boom. This can be really good with characters with command grabs like Wario's Bite. Wario's Bite. Who else has got a command grab? I guess Captain Falcon and Ganon. That's not really a great example.
Off the top of my head, my brain just blanks, but people understand it. If you have a command grab, you know your character.
Wario. Anyway, so he's really good in doubles for that. Obviously, you got the Omni side. That's a whole kettle of fish as well. I'm not going to touch that. But yeah, cool character. Realistically, you probably won't be able to solo main him just because there's going to be matchups which are a nightmare. Pretty sure Ness is a nightmare. Unlike Brawl where that was a free win. Ness seems quite hard for Snake, so there'll be matchups where it's just like, fuck this, man. So you probably need a secondary. But yeah, really good character. So yeah, peace out.
Bye bye.
Can't do it. Do a standing grab? Yeah.
Okay.
But now, running grab, standing grab. You can run through there.
Oh yeah. I need the ledge. Wait, what?
Go.
Why isn't it going through now?
I think you're doing full speed run.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And crouch under grabs.